Hi everyone, my name is Sandra. Welcome back to my channel. In today's makeup tutorial, I used the New to Me Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star Conspiracy and Controversy palettes. So if you're interested to see how I got this look, keep on watching. Okay, so we're going to start the makeup. I am priming with a couple of different primers today. The first one is my Too Faced Primetime Poreless. So this is going to fill in my pores, and I'm just going to concentrate around my T-zone. So I'm using a very tiny size amount and a little bit on my forehead, around my nose, and a little bit around my mouth. I will be applying it with my fingers and pressing it into the skin. So it's important that, and I guess now more than ever, I've always kind of taken care of my skin, but I've been buying better quality products. And I think I've said this before, I noticed that with skincare products, generally the more you spend on a skincare product, the better it works or the better quality it is. And even if you want to buy cheap makeup from the drugstore, that's great. But the skincare products should definitely, you should be using something on your skin. And I mean, I'm not even one to talk. I've had the worst skincare. Before, I would use the Bath and Body Works hand cream on my face because it was dry. But now I'm actually into good quality skin products, and I've already done all of my skincare. I have a lip mask on, so I feel very, very ready to do my makeup, and I'm excited. So my next product that I'm going to apply is going to be mixed with my foundation. So this is my Magic Lumi by L'Oreal, and it's actually a very liquidy product. It's pure white. I'm going to mix them on my hand. This is what it looks like. So I'm going to mix it in with my brush actually. And the brush I'll be using today is a Real Techniques. I've never reached for this, but I want to use it. It is dual fiber, and it's going to be stippled onto my face, which I think will work really well. Hence the name Stippling Brush. So I'm going to pick up some of that primer along with the foundation and work it into my skin. And I'm just kind of interested to see what color, the 7.5, if it plays well with my neck color. So all I'm doing here is literally working it into the skin in a stippling motion until it looks like skin. So this shade is quite a bit lighter for me, but that is okay because I can build up my color again with some bronzer and contour. And this product mixed together should give my skin a nice glow. Okay, so it's all nice and worked into the skin. It actually looks pretty good. My skin looks nice and glowy. So next, I'm going to use a darker color now for my contour. So I'm going to dip into my Tartiest Pro Glow palette. I want to use the cream shade. It's called literally Shade right here. And then I'm going to use a contour brush for this step. So I'm using an F05 by Sigma. This is a small contour brush. I'm going to dip it into the product very lightly and apply some contour. I'm also going to apply it around the perimeter of my face. So I'm going to go back in with that original foundation brush and just make sure that my cream contour is really nicely blended into my skin. Moving on now to some concealer. So I'm going to conceal certain areas of my face, maybe the high points as well as under the eyes. So I'm using my new product here, by Beautyblender. This is the shade 2.2 Neutral Olive. I'm hoping it's not too light for me, but this is an interesting applicator. It's kind of like a little half pear shape. It's interesting anyway. So let's see how it applies. I've never used this product before, but I've heard some really good things about it. And on certain areas where I can see my spots showing through, I'm going to go in with a little bit of a darker concealer. Oh shucks, I was going to use my peach Jeffree Star. I wonder if I don't know if it's good to mix them. I'm just going to put a little bit here and then see. Probably should have put that down first. So don't make that mistake, you guys. I don't know how that's going to work here. I really wanted to try that out too to see if it actually covered up my dark circles because I have such dark circles. And the next step I want to do, I'm going to take my Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer in the shade Natural Beige and add a little bit to my spots that I want to cover up. Just very slightly. And I'm going to take my Beauty Blender here. It's damp and I'm going to gently blend out all of these areas. One thing I've noticed is that this concealer, I've already noticed it, it dries up really quickly. It's harder than most concealers to blend out. Okay, so when I'm blending this out, I'm going to try not to focus on the lid so much because I do have an eye primer for my shadow today, but I'm going to look up and just blend as close to the lashes as I can. So far I'm really liking this. It's pretty light, but I think what I'm going to have to do is have a wear test for this concealer and just see if it creases a lot throughout the day. So I'm going to set this now with some Laura Mercier. This is also a new product. I've wanted to try this forever. This is the Transparent Loose Setting Powder in Translucent. I'm really excited to try this. So I'm just going to peel off the plastic cover here. And I'm going to use my Beauty Blender as well just to, I'm going to tap some product into the cap, and I'm not baking, I'm just going to push the product into the skin and set my under eyes. So I'm not setting the rest of the face with this powder. And I'm just going to take a powder brush and gently wipe away any excess. I don't think there was any, but. And then next, I'm going to actually use, and this is something that I have not tried before as well. This is a Nudie stick. A Nudie is matte all over face color. It's supposed to be like a bronzer, but it's also with a little bit of color. It's called Beach Babe. And I'm just going to put some on the cheeks. A little bit on the nose. And I'm going to blend this out again with my foundation brush. I'm just going to stipple it on. That actually looks very, very natural, looks really, really nice. I'm going to add a little bit of my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. And this I'm going to go over my face very, very lightly. I have a new brush coming actually for this, like for bronzing, but I'm going to stick with my F30 like I usually do. And I'm going to bronze like I say I don't like to, just kind of going over the areas where I bronzed with that cream bronzer. Kind of using the bronzer to kind of set the rest of my makeup. Very, very lightly, of course. Okay, and then I'm also going to do the same thing with blush. So I will be using also the new product. This was by Lunar Beauty, the Moon Prism Blush Palette. And I think out of these colors, I will be using Stargaze and Gravity. So I'm going to mix these two here and just lightly go over my cheeks using my F10 powder blush brush. Tap off the brush and lightly go over my cheeks. Blush tends to fade really, really quickly. So we'll go over it with the powder brush, and then I'm going to go back over it with a large powder brush just to make it a little bit more natural. Okay, I'm really liking how everything looks right now. I'm actually just going to go ahead and do my brows. Of course, I'll be using my two Anastasia brow products. This is the Brow Whiz and Dip Brow Gel in both a medium brown. We'll do brows off camera and we will be right back. Okay, you guys, so we're going in with eyes now. I'm going to start by priming them with my new Fenty Beauty eye primer. This is, the name is called Amplifying Eye Primer, and it's the shade Invisapink. So I'll pop a little bit of that on each lid. This is the first time I have tried this product. And I will be buffing this out with a Real Techniques brush as well. This is the Instapop Shade Brush meant for eyeshadow, but it is a tapered angled brush, so I'll just use that to prime my lids with this product, and I am not using a lot of product at all. So it's not too white, it's just, it looks the same as it did before. And now I'm going to go in with my Controversy palette. So these are the collab with Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star. This is the mini, and this is the, well, this is the mini Controversy, and this is the Conspiracy palette. So I guess they're each a little bit different. This one here, that one. So I think what I want to do is a neutral look on the upper eye and possibly adding a little bit of the shade and also this shimmer here. So instead of showing the palettes again, I will just tell you what color I will be using where, and we'll go from there. So starting in the crease, you could either use, I think it's called Tanason or Tanacon or Diet Root Beer in the Controversy palette. But I think I'm going to go in with Tanacon. I'm just going to call it Tanacon because I don't really know how to pronounce it. So with that, I'm going to use my Sigma brushes. This is the E35. This is going to be my starting out transition shade here. So it will go in the crease, and I'm generally learning to bring my crease shade a little bit higher because I do have deep set eyes, but they're not particularly hooded, so I don't really ever do cut crease on my eyes. I could, because it will make the shadow that you put on the lid, whether it's a shimmer, generally a shimmer, it'll make it stand up and pop a little bit more. But what I like to do is just apply the shimmer with my finger onto my lid, and that shows up equally as well. Or you can take a wet brush with MAC Fix Plus or some kind of setting spray, and that works really well too. And then you kind of get a similar appearance to a cut crease. So this shade is going on really, really nicely. It's applying like butter. And actually that is one look. Even if you don't want to wear eyeshadow, it is kind of nice to just give your eyes some shape and dimension. So even this, and then you pop on some mascara and lashes, is really pretty as well. We are going to do a little bit more than that today though. So this is my transition color here. And I don't really have any more product on my brush, but I'm just kind of bringing it out a little bit to the temple area. And I'm going to contour by the nose a little bit more here. And just make it a little bit more shapely. All right, next I want to deepen kind of the middle to the outer crease area. And with that, I'm going to start using Not a Fact. So that is the deep plum shade. And I know I'm jumping to that really, really quickly, but I have a plan. So with that one, I'm going to be taking an E25. And it's really dark, so I'm just adding a tiny bit on my edge of my brush here and just packing it on. Going back into the color, and we will pack the color on and then we will blend it out and see how it looks. I like this palette. I feel like the shades, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. Like I think I said in my haul video that I loved the top row. They were all neutrals. And these colors, I don't know, they don't mesh well for me, except for maybe this one here. And I like the green. I like the greens. I wouldn't mind doing like an olive green look at one point, but the rest of the colors don't really mesh well. I think it's a little crazy, like that light blue just doesn't do anything for me. I don't know. I'm going to try to get some looks out of this palette, see what kind of things we can do, what I can create. I haven't really watched any other videos with this palette, so I don't know, like I can't kind of judge to see what other people are doing. All I remember seeing was the original Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star kind of showpiece for it when it first launched. Okay, so now that we have the color on there, I'm using the same brush just to blend it out. This color is so pretty. And that's one of my problems is because I have brown eyes, I think purple just goes so well with brown eyes, and I always use purple eyeshadow. And so I thought this one was a little bit more plum than purple, but I will dip into My Apology, which is in the Controversy palette, and we will add that as well. So I think what my plan is, I will add a light shimmer, possibly just a Theory to the inner lid, and then we'll blend it out with a little bit of My Apology. And I will be bringing My Apology down on the lower lid as well and blending that out. So before we actually go any further, let's take just a Theory. I'm going to pop that on my finger. Oh, it's so pretty. And I'm going to just add it to the inner lid. Same thing with the other side. And then to blend in between the matte shade and that shade, I'm going to take another clean finger, and use My Apology. This is also a shimmer. That probably has to be my favorite shade in the palette. So I'm just going to go back and forth between those two with my fingers and blend them out. That shade is so creamy, by the way. And then I'm going to go back in with my brush. And I feel like I need to add a little bit of a darker shade that isn't a shimmer on the outer corner. And here the only shade is the black color. So I'm going to dip into the black very, very gently and add it to the outer corner as well, just to deepen up that plum shade and give the eye a little bit more dimension. I will dip back into Not a Fact just to blend out the black. And then I will take my original brush with a little bit of Tannicon on it to blend up underneath the eyebrow area and just make sure that all of those shades are blending well together. Okay, so now going on the lower lash line. Before we actually get started, I'm going to take my hard candy pencil. This is Stroke of Gorgeous Soft Glide Longwear Eyeliner in the shade Shimmer Don't Whine. I'm going to apply it to my bottom waterline. All right, and then we're going to take a pencil brush. How about we take a smudge brush? This is the E21 by Sigma. I'm going to dip into my Apology, spray my brush with a little bit of MAC Fix Plus with the product on there and smudge this into the eyeliner on the bottom lash line. And I probably won't bring this all the way, just leave it on the outer half. And we will wait for that to dry. And I will blend it out a little bit with a larger, fluffier brush. And in the meantime, I'm going to line my upper lid with my Too Faced Better Than Sex liquid liner. And then I'm going to take my E25 that I worked in the upper eye work, and blend out that lower lash line. And I will blend it into the upper, like, outer corner. And if you don't want this blended out so low, you can use a smaller brush. I have a little bit of fallout, so I'm just going to wipe that away. And I think that looks really, really pretty. I'm actually just going to take another brush here. Normally I would use one of the palettes to highlight, but because I like that color just the way it is, I'm going to take a highlighting palette and just go ahead and highlight beneath my brow bone and my inner corner right now. So this is my Flower Beauty highlighting palette. It's the Shimmer and Strobe highlighting palette. And I will be using a pencil brush here with a little bit of MAC Fix Plus on it as well. And I'm going to dip into the champagne color. So this is the lighter color in the palette. I love this product. It is so nice. And it just brightens up, especially when the brush is wet. And I'll just be bringing that highlighter a little bit on the inner corner right here. A little bit under the brow bone. And we're ready for mascara and lashes. We will go ahead and apply those and we'll be back to do lips. Okay, you guys, lashes are applied. So for mascara, I used my favorite right now, my Maybelline Total Temptation in Blackest Black. And I also used these Bel Air lashes by Morphe. So the lashes, yes, they are a little crazy. They go well with looks that are a little bit darker. With a lighter makeup look, I probably wouldn't wear lashes like this, but they are very kind of in your face, but go with the purple color. So for lips, I'm going to use my Morphe pencil in Love Bite. I'm going to line my lips. It is more of a brownish color pencil, but it's definitely neutral. And then we're going to pop on some neutral lipstick to go over. So I overlined my lips just a little bit, and I also filled them in with that lip liner. I'm going to go over that with this Maybelline Color Sensation lipstick. This is in the shade 050 Baddest Beige, and it is a shiny lipstick. So I'm just going to pat it on. And on top of that, I will be using this 915 Blushing Beige. This is also a Color Sensational lipstick by Maybelline. And then on top of that, I'm going to add some gloss. Okay, so this gloss is called Boho. It is like one of my favorite nude glosses by Morphe. And to finish off this look, I'm going to add a little bit of highlighter to the high points of my face, and then we will use some setting spray. So again, I'm going to dip into my Flower Beauty highlighting palette. My current favorite brush right now for highlight is my Morphe M501. I just love how tapered it is. I do have some more brushes on the way, so please stay tuned for that if you're interested to see what my favorite brushes are. So I'm going to go into the same champagne color, tap off the brush, and apply this product to my cheekbones. The tip of my nose, a little along the bridge, between the brows, Cupid's bow, and chin. And just to kind of blend out my highlight on my cheek a little bit, I'm just going to take my powder brush and go over it so it's a little bit softer. And then we are going to give the entire face a nice spray of MAC Fix Plus. This is just a tiny one. I actually ran out of my large one. This was my favorite. It was lavender. It's almost gone, so I'll use a small one instead for now. Fan the face dry, and that is it. That is it for this makeup look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I used a lot of products that I received in my recent haul, and I'm really excited to just get back into makeup and do a whole bunch of looks with all my different palettes and different brushes. So I'm very excited for that. If you like this video, please give it a huge thumbs up. Also, if you're new here, I'd love if you subscribed, and don't forget to hit that little bell notification in the corner so you will be notified every time I upload a new video. We'll talk to you guys again very soon. Have a great day. Take care.